What's going on, you guys? I hope all is well as always. I know it's been a little bit of time, but a lot of you guys are keeping me busy with you guys moving up to the Buffalo area, which is a beautiful thing. I thank you for trusting me, but we moved about, I don't even know, over these last couple of years, maybe about 40 of you guys up to the Buffalo area from relocating from different areas around the US. Now, I wanted to shoot this particular video because a lot of you do have this same question, and I know they're very good questions. So I want to just take some time out, maybe 10-15 minutes, and go over about 10 of these very common questions a lot of you have about the Buffalo area. But if there's anything specific that you need, you guys can always just call me on the phone, shoot me a DM. It doesn't matter. Guys know I always respond. So starting with number one, right? Everybody, especially where the world is right now with the fires, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, everybody asks, well, what natural disaster does Buffalo have? First of all, we don't really have no natural disasters to the point where the city is destroyed, right? We have blizzards for sure, right? We have heavy snowstorms, stuff that's gonna make you sit in the house for about a week, maybe two, depending on how bad it is. Especially back in 2023, we all was locked down for about a week and a half everywhere. But we don't have any real natural disasters, really no floods, again, no hurricanes, no tsunamis coming through, no crazy windstorms that's gonna uplift your house. We don't have those. We don't have any fires. Canada was close a couple years ago, but it didn't touch the Buffalo area, right? Even Niagara Falls area. So though we don't really have those natural disasters. Again, we have blizzards, we have heavy snowstorms, but after a while it tends to melt, right? A week, 2 weeks after it'll melt. The hard part is when you guys get here, learning to drive in the snow, and we'll talk about that in just 1 second. And also, shoot, the city itself needs to do a better job with salting, plowing, and all that good stuff. But when you get 2 feet of snow at one time, 3 feet, 6 feet if you're on Orchard Park at one time, it's hard to put that snow somewhere. So that's something that you guys will get accustomed to. But as far as natural disasters, no, we don't have anything. When you leave your house is still gonna be there. Now let's get on to number two. Now, taxes. I know a lot of you guys have been noticing that, whether you're on Redfin, Zillow, or if I started to send some homes over to you, you looking at those taxes like, hey, that's 5, 6, 7, 9, 10 grand, depending on what area of the city you're in. And this particular person asked me if I was buying between 500 to 600,000. I'll backtrack for you. It's all going to be dependent upon which a suburb you live, if you're inside the city or not. That's really going to be the two differences. And I'll break this down really quickly because I know I've done this 1,000 times over the course of videos. So if you watch another video after this, you'll probably hear the same explanation. Inside the city of Buffalo, that's where you're going to have the cheapest taxes possible. Cheektowaga, Amherst, Hamburg, Orchard Park, the suburbs are gonna have a totally different tax compared to the actual city of Buffalo. Now, there are some spots in the city, particularly North Buffalo, where you'll find really high taxes, but everywhere else, and when I mean North Buffalo, I'm still talking about inside the city. I'm not talking about the suburbs just above it, Amherst or Cheektowaga. I'm actually talking about in the city, North Buffalo. So if you look at Hurdle Avenue, North Park, if you look at Elmwood Village, like those up there, because those houses are so expensive, yes, of course, those taxes are going to be much higher. Cheektowaga taxes, you're probably going to be looking around 55 to about $6,000 these days, right? Cheektowaga taxes have bumped up crazy. I know it sounds bananas for a $250,000 house, but taxes are high in Cheektowaga. They just, again, had a reassessment. Amherst, same thing. Amherst, you're probably looking more in the 400s for that 5, 6, 7 grand area, but it's also going to depend on you guys' school district. Let's say you guys do want to move up here. You hear a lot about the Amherst area, specifically the Williamsville School District. If you guys are looking inside the actual village of Williamsville, your taxes are going to be bananas. But Williamsville South School District, you can pay $4,500, 5 grand a year just in school taxes, not including your property taxes or the village tax. So if you guys are thinking about Williamsville itself, know your taxes are going to be much higher than just a regular Amherst Central High or something like that, right? So it's going to depend on where you guys are where you guys are living. If you inside the city or outside the city first. That's what you want to know. What town you're in, and then if you're living inside that town, are you inside a village? Again, another example is going to be Kenmore. Kenmore is a village inside of Tonawanda. So, for example, you're going to pay your county tax, right? You're also going to pay that town tax, which is going to be Tonawanda, but then you also are going to get hit with a village tax because you live inside a Kenmore village, and then your school tax. So those things you guys really want to think about when you guys are looking for a house. And you guys know, just call me, I'll be able to alert you better. Inside the city though, taxes are, I mean, you may pay a couple grand outside of North Buffalo, okay? So that's just something to really think about when you guys are deciding where you want to live, especially for you guys that's coming up here, you know, you're selling your house wherever it may be, coming up here thinking about paying cash. If you got a $10,000 tax bill every single year and you living off your retirement, you got to calculate that out if you're about to live another 20, 30, 40 years in Buffalo. Like, so that's something that you do want to think about when you guys are thinking of moving to Buffalo. The second one is, are you a real estate agent in Buffalo area? Or do you have somebody recommend? I'm a realtor, guys. This is the main reason for this channel is to be able to help you guys relocate to Buffalo, but it's also because I want to be of service to you once you guys do get to the Buffalo area. So I am a realtor. I'm in real estate every single day. I own property myself. I help other people own property, such as yourself if you was moving here to buy, but I also help people sell their home and also manage their home if they're an investor. So I'm in the real estate business through and through. All right. Number 4. Hey Devonte, how about the diversity around the Buffalo/Lancaster area? We have a very racially diverse family and want to live in a place where everyone can feel welcome and at home. Now, diversity when it comes to Buffalo. This is an extremely good question because everybody gets this. When it comes to Buffalo, the racial breakdown or makeup demographic, let's just call it demographic, right? Outside the city of Buffalo is not going to be crazy diverse at all. I don't care what suburb you pick. Cheektowaga is getting better. That's that next step out of Buffalo. That's getting a lot more diverse these days. Or even South Amherst. That's 14226, closer to Maine and Harlem area, around that South Amherst area. So those two areas for suburbs are getting better. Inside the city though is where you're gonna find the most diversity. Outside the city, it's not going to be crazy diverse by any means. I mean, it's going to be lopsided. Heavy. That's just to warn you guys. Now, are people progressive outside the city? For sure, right? It's getting better, especially compared to when I was a kid. It's getting better. Is it all the way there yet? No, there's still people with that old mindset, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. It can be prevalent at times. It can be hidden at times. But that's one thing about Buffalo. Buffalo, especially in the past, has been one of the most segregated cities around the entire United States. Again, it's getting much better, but it's not there just yet. So just know that when you guys are coming up, again, people are being more progressive, but you know, that's a slow turn, especially where the economy, where the world is politically and all that stuff right now. You guys know I'm not a political guy, but where the world is right now, we're so divided. Sometimes that'll show up. More times people in Buffalo are pretty good about things. Just keep an open eye. But Lancaster specifically, it ain't diverse at all. At all. So leading on to my next one. This is a very good question because I don't get this often. Are there any urban clubs, social clubs, or Black-owned businesses in general that you recommend? Now, when it comes to Buffalo, there's like I just said, there's not a crazy, I want to word this correctly. Is there a specific community that you will find? And I hate to compare our city to these other big cities, but just for easy example, like to an Atlanta or a Houston or a Charlotte, no. So that is something that you guys have to think about. Now, are there certain clubs? Yes, you got the Urban League, you have colored musician clubs, like you have just even even you have oh my gosh, Blood and Brothers. I can't think of the exact community, but this guy named Daniel Robertson, he runs it. I mean, very good dude, and it's really just bringing up young black men, helping them cultivate. I can't even think of the group name, but if y'all know it, just comment it down below. But there's a lot of startups or starting groups starting to happen in the Buffalo area. You would just honestly have to find it, right? That is something that you will probably have to seek out on your own. But to just say, hey, there's this specific club that everybody knows about, yes and no, right? So that's something you would honestly just have to do some due diligence of. I have a couple connections there, but again, it's not as massive as those big cities that you're thinking about. You guys have to remember, Buffalo, inside the actual city, only has about 250,000 people. Inside Erie County, it's only about 1 million people. So it is growing. It's not there just yet, though. So something to keep in mind. Even when it comes to nightclubs, we are bar people in Buffalo. We don't have nightclubs like that, right? You're not going to get a crazy amount of celebrities inside of Buffalo every week. That's not going to happen. The Helium Comedy Club has been bringing in a lot of big guests, and even the Outer Banks. I know T-Pain will be here soon. Cat Williams will be at the Comedy Club. Kevin Hart will be at the Comedy Club. Rick Ross, I think, is coming here too. If you guys ever heard of OJ Barker or Griselda, Benny, Conway, and all of them, they're really, really helping the music scene here. But again, the nightclub scene is really not in the Buffalo area like that. So that is definitely something that you guys have to keep in mind. Again, I'm not a partier like that, so I'm a bar guy. I'm gonna have a few drinks at the bar, have a good time, and go home. All right. So now switching this over a little bit, you guys ask, what about any of the Niagara County towns like Pendleton, Wheatfield, Youngstown, or Lewiston? Lewiston is absolutely beautiful, expensive as heck, but it's beautiful. I actually have to do a vlog on that. I haven't done that yet, and I've been meaning to do that this summer. I just been running around crazy. But Lewiston, the village is beautiful, guys. There's a price tag to it though. When it comes to Pendleton and Wheatfield is not as expensive. There's some different pockets that can get very expensive, especially if you're close to the water. I mean, there's some beautiful big mansions out there. Pendleton is one of those country, suburban area, more country though than anything. It's really not too much out there. A lot of land. People really go out there to build their house on an acre, half acre, 2 acres, 3 acres, right? That's what you'll find more in Pendleton, in my point of view. I mean, straight country living. You by yourself. You're gonna see your neighbor, but he gonna be a little bit of ways, right? Or you're gonna have that kind of 90s build out there, right? A lot of people go out there for land, build on that land, or it's just farm country, especially when you talk about Youngstown, right? I just think all that stuff up there is country personally, but it's really good at country suburban feel. Lewiston is beautiful though, great area. All that stuff is safe up there. Nothing really happens. Again, it's not farm country, but it's country out there for sure. Now, this is actually a good question too, especially in a day and age that we're in right now in Buffalo. Is it true that everyone is waiving the right to home inspections, or is this an exaggeration? This is true. I've been in this a long time, right? I'm in this every day. There are people waiving inspections every single day. I just shot 2 videos about this. Go watch them. I think one is titled like $50,000 over asking, and the other one is how to buy a house in this market. It's true. Ask anybody in real estate in the Buffalo area. They're going to vouch for it. I'm telling you guys, it's not uncommon right now for people to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 over asking. Amherst, for instance, if you have a good condition house, it can even be grandma's house, but it has good bones, there's a great chance it's going over asking. Our inventory right now, we are not seeing it like the rest of the United States right now. Our inventory right now is pretty low, which there's always going to be buyers because people are always going to want to get out of an apartment, right? There can be 10 offers, 20 offers for a house. I kid you not. And for those of you who want it, you got to get it out. Great example. We listed a house in Williamsville. I think it was Williamsville North School District, right? Oh, literally right off Maple. Beautiful house, right? We listed it Thursday. By Friday At 4 o'clock, I had an offer in our email for $50,000 over asking, $20,000 deposit, no home inspection. I kid you not. So that's how this, and you have to understand, that's almost less than 24 hours. That's how it is right now. So that's just where Buffalo is. And that's everywhere. It's not one specific part of town. It's not just a city. It's not just Amherst. It's every single spot in town that's like that. So keep that in mind. This is good pertaining to a lot of winter stuff. Do you need snow tires, and do I need to think about a truck? You don't really need snow tires. Somebody else asked this, but in a different way, saying, do you only need an all-wheel drive vehicle? The answer is no. I drove a Malibu for years. There's people whipping around here in little Priuses, and they be getting in the snow. So you don't need to switch your vehicle per se. It's more of you learning how to drive in the snow. You brake early, you take your time. You don't need to rush when it comes to the snow. The only way to get your reps up though is to actually practice in the snow. Once you first get here, side streets, take your time. Don't drive like Miss Daisy, don't drive like grandma, but you need to brake a little bit earlier than expected and get your reps in. More times than not, if you guys are living in the suburbs, your roads are gonna be salted before you even wake up. If you guys are inside the city, good luck, because the city plows have never been good, ever been good. And again, I get it because they have to do double the amount of work compared to an Amherst or Cheektowaga, right? And then those specific, every suburb has their own set of plow trucks, right? So you'll see in town of Cheektowaga, those are more yellow, like straight big blue, big highlighted yellow plow trucks. The city of Buffalo, I don't know what colors they are, but they'll have their own little emblem on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be different compared to each different neighborhood. If you guys are in the suburbs though, there's a great chance that you won't have too much to worry about. Or if you do wake up early like I do at 4:30, 5 o'clock, yeah, you may get hit. You may have to drive a little bit through it, but by the time you get home from work, it'll be salted and good to go. So you don't need to get all-wheel drive car, and you don't really need to get snow tires unless you just absolutely want to. But I've never in my life had snow tires. All season tires, yeah, but just designated snow tires, no. And on my truck right now, I got Scorpion Pirelli. So you don't really need anything. I go through a lot of tires, so that's the caveat. But somebody else said, and I know we finishing this up, just two more questions that I really wanted to answer. How long does it take to close in Buffalo? You guys really want to work on your timeline. And I know I preach that a lot, but it's going to take 60 days with a mortgage to close in Buffalo. Even if you guys are cash, you're still talking about 40 to 45 days to close. You have to budget. I know a lot of you are coming from cities where you can close in 30 days. Here, people in Buffalo are so accustomed to it, they're gonna take that entire 2 months to get out the house. So even if you do close where you are and you're moving to Buffalo, your house is 10 times out of 10 not gonna be ready. So buffer for that. Get a short-term rental or stay where you are now. Maybe you can stay with a family member or something like that. Or what I would do is I will put a clause inside your contract once you guys are selling your house that give us an extra 30 days or 40 days to find suitable housing, just knowing that you're gonna relocate so that you don't have to move twice and you can just move once. This is a good one. Because I know a lot of you guys, again, where you guys are coming from, you guys are really accustomed to new builds. Quick breakdown. Buffalo doesn't have new builds like that. You have to go inside of the suburbs. Particularly, you're gonna be probably in Amherst, Lancaster, even Cheektowaga really doesn't have a new build section like that. They have one and a one for 227, but all of those are already built up. So you will literally have to wait till somebody sells those. Amherst though, Clarence, very expensive. Lancaster can be expensive depending on where you are. Wheatfield, right? Those areas, Pendleton, those areas are gonna have your new builds. Anything inside the city, it's just not gonna happen. It's just not, unfortunately. There's one new build, I always talk about it, Colvin Estates, Rachel Vincent Way. That's the only new builds inside of the city. So, and what this guy particularly asked me, what builder do you recommend for a $200,000 budget? None of them, because you're not gonna build in Buffalo for 200,000, 300,000, 400,000. Maybe 4, but it's gonna be a box. Buffalo's new build is very expensive. You're going to buy an existing home here. For anything, just be honest. Anything under 700,000 is gonna be an existing. You're not gonna build anything for less than that unless you're the actual GC. You already have the land and you're gonna build it yourself. Just being honest with you guys. That's one thing that plagues Buffalo. We do not have a new build community inside here. So when people are looking online on Zillow, on Redfin, wherever you guys are looking, you're looking for that new build and you're seeing a hefty price tag to it. That's the reason why. So I hope that answered a couple of you guys' questions. If you guys have any more, I will gladly shoot another one of these videos answering another 10 or so questions, probably towards the later end of this year. So just comment them down below. If you guys have any other questions, anything that's been nagging you about the Buffalo area, I would love to answer. All right, as always, my name is Devonte Davis, the local realtor in and around the Buffalo area. Any questions, drop them down below. I would love to talk to you.